Am I the asshole because I want my boyfriend to stay in? For context, me and my boyfriend have been in an LDR for 3 years. He decided around the end of the 2-year mark that he wanted to join the military in order for us to move in together. Despite my skepticism, I agreed. Before he left for basic training, I expressed to him my worries about him coming back as a different man. I've heard stories about military men, such as their drug and alcohol habits, as well as stories of infidelity. He reassured me, and his letters during BMT were very reassuring as well. I even flew out to see him graduate, and I was relieved to see he was the same as before he left. However, upon his joining tech school, he began to change. For the first month, or so we called all the time, relieved to finally be able to talk again. Now, I barely get a call from him throughout the week, despite there being several federal holidays and free weekends where we could call. At first, I tried to be very laid back and sympathetic. After all, he joined us, and he should enjoy himself with his friends. He'd often go out drinking, or go to the movies with his friends. Due to this, we wouldn't talk throughout the days, but I let him do his own thing, assuming eventually he'd come back around. However, he didn't. This led to a breakdown on my part, where I told him I was disappointed in the fact that he could go so long without really calling me. Whenever he was out with friends, he'd go to sleep as soon as he was back to his dorm. He'd never ask about my day or what I was up to, despite knowing I wanted to talk to him. He apologized and told me he'd do better. I said all I want is one day out of the week to talk to him. We both decided that day would be today with him having it off, as he had just spent the entire weekend, Thursday through Saturday, with his friends drinking, going to an event, going to a movie, and visiting the zoo. So today, I was excited to be able to catch up with him and talk. He spent breakfast with his friends, which is fine, but it took around 2 hours because according to him they were playing cards. Once we were finally on the call, I was happy, though we had to hang up around 30 minutes later because he needed to grab lunch. I took this time to study when he texted me that he wanted to go to the movies with friends. I told him I wished he wouldn't, due to him just spending the entire weekend with his friends, but he reassured me he'd be right back to the dorm afterward. I agreed, but I'm deeply regretting it. Every time I agree to this sort of thing, he doesn't call me back for hours, and it's nearly time for me to go to bed. I've already expressed to him my expectations and assumed he'd consider my feelings, but he hasn't. I feel like a bit of an asshole for wanting him to stay in and talk to me, even if it's just for one day out of the week. Aita!